All right, let's go over the top 5 scams out there for Social Security and Medicare. These scams, particularly with AI, they are improving every year and they're being more lethal and they're ripping a lot of people off. So let's make sure you and your family and your loved ones are protected. As usual, every time I make a top 5 list, I always add extra stuff in there. So I always can give you a bonus. So we'll talk about 5 plus, and then we'll get into your particular questions on all things Social Security, retirement, disability benefits, survivor benefits, Medicare, Medicaid, all the rest of it. Okay, so here's one that I was a target of when I was working at the Social Security Administration, sitting there in my office. And I got a call supposedly from the Social Security Administration on my private phone saying my Social Security number is going to be suspended and I'm in trouble. I'm going to be arrested and whatever, whatever, whatever. And I'm like, huh, that's interesting. What is your name and what DO do you work for? What district office do you work in? Oh, my name is John. I work in Dallas. So I pulled up the Social Security employee database there and I'm like, John in Dallas. What's your last name, John? Oh, it's Martin. Oh, really? Well, there's no Dallas, there's nobody by that name in the Dallas field office. How do you know that? And then I tell them and they hang up on me. So it happens to everybody. So be very, very careful. If somebody calls you from Social Security, the only time people will call you from Social Security is if you have a pending claim. If you recently filed for benefits or something, and they need some type of documentation or they have a question or they need something, then they'll contact you. But if not, then particularly now, Social Security is a terrible in terms of staffing. They just don't have the employees. So, I mean, I guess that's a good thing for scamming. In terms of if you get a call from Social Security, you know it's not that because they don't have people to call you to help you out, unfortunately, even to help you out when you need help. So just pretty much hang up on them unless you have a pending claim. And if you have a pending claim, but you're still wondering whether that call is a scam, what you can do is say, okay, what exactly are you calling for? Oh, because you recently filed for benefits. And even then they might know that because as we know, Doge has uploaded everybody's records into some unprotected cloud. So we're not sure what kind of information is out there right now. So probably if you're suspicious, then when you file, they might have given you a phone number that says, okay, this is the person, handling your claim. Usually they don't because they're so overwhelmed. But if they do, just call that person and said, okay, let me call you back. Or you can call that local office, or you can call the 800 number, the Social Security 800 number, and say, hey, somebody just called me and, I was wondering, I do have a pending claim, but I'm a little bit suspicious. So are they really looking for something? And they can look at the record, your pending claim, and they say, oh, yeah. They had a question about your birth certificate or your earnings last year or something like that. So stay safe on that one. Okay, so, and their Social Security doesn't suspend your record or your Social Security number or anything like that unless they'll send you an actual letter. All right, so let's move into the letters now, and particularly the emails. These were usually pretty easy to spot before because some of those emails that came in, it always, anytime you took any type of training about this phishing, where they're phishing for information, they send you an email, they want you to click on this, they're trying to find information about you. A lot of those emails, the English wasn't that great. So that was a telltale sign that, okay, this is from overseas or something. But now with AI, the English is very, very good. With AI, they come up with these algorithms where they can just create an enormous amount and send out millions, billions of emails. And if they only get, 0.0001%, then it's a success. They're making tons of money because AI did it in 5 minutes. So these are going to really, really increase. So we have to be on our toes. So if you receive something suspicious, obviously don't open it. Definitely don't open the attachment. If you've signed up for a My Social Security account and, the Commissioner of Social Security is sending emails saying, hey, look how awesome we are. And, but I've talked about that. Don't click on any links. If something is going on, like the COLA, COLA is going to be announced here in the next few weeks, and people will probably get emails that say, and hey, we've increased the COLA, and therefore next year your benefit amount is going to be X, Y, and Z. Okay, that's fine, but don't click on the link that supposedly is from the Social Security Administration, even if it looks from the Social Security Administration, because it could be fake. So, I've got an email from the Social Security and it talks about COLA and it says, click on this link to find out how much your benefit is going to increase. Delete that. It might be official, but I would delete it anyway, just in case. And then just go type in ssa.gov. Type in ssa.gov and go through, go into your account to see the email about how much your benefits are going to increase. That's probably the safest way to do it. But don't click on any links that, and one of the other things out there is, hey, you're eligible for these extra programs and, disability. Can you get extra money on your retirement and stuff? No. Stay away and watch out for those ones. Okay, another one for those people on disability. This is kind of a new one, but I've heard some people on disability talk about this. Disability work scams. When you're on disability benefits, SSDI, SSI, whichever one, you are allowed to work. There's obviously different limitations for each one of those programs. If you go onto my website, mygovexpert.com, then I've got all of the information there. I've got a PDF that you can download 100% free, and it tells you about trial work period, extended period of eligibility. I've got a calculator there. It's all free, so definitely check it out. Bunch of information, retirement benefits, living overseas, veterans, Medicaid, and all the rest of it. So if you're on disability benefits, go there or go to ssa.gov or watch my videos I do on working and collecting Social Security benefits. Coaches, yeah, I would be very hesitant on those. There is what's called a Ticket to Work program. So this is an official program, an organization that Social Security contracts with to help people who want to go back to work while receiving disability. And that's a good place to go to. Again, Ticket to Work. But anybody that's going to charge you to coach you to go back to work or anything like that, be very, 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 very careful. Okay. You are allowed to work, very limited, while you're receiving disability benefits. Okay. All right. Another thing is these benefit fixers, these so-called experts. There are several companies out there that give people, usually they're like Medicare insurance agents. They like doing these. They like going out in the country and giving Social Security seminars, which please stop, because they take a 2-day online seminar and then they go out there and give incorrect answers, and people make lifelong decisions based on someone that took a 2-day correspondence course on Social Security. When you're hired by Social Security, which doesn't look like anybody can be hired in the near future here, but anyway, anybody that's hired at Social Security, they go through 3 months of training, and then after that, about a year or so, every single time they push a button in the computer system to adjudicate a claim, their claim is reviewed by a technical expert. So yeah, you just can't get that in 2 days. But these people take these classes. They said they're a Social Security expert, Social Security advisor after 2 days of online training, and they get this cute little certificate that says they're advisors and experts. And so you go in there and ask them a question. And unfortunately, some of these people say, okay, yeah, I know retirement age is 62, and I know full retirement age for most people now is 67. And yeah, that's what I learned in 2 days. But some people, they get embarrassed when they're up there in front of a seminar and they just start making stuff up because they don't want to look like they don't know what they're talking about. So if you don't know what you're talking about, just don't say anything, right? The golden rule. So that's not really the golden rule. It's the nice rule, right? If you don't have anything negative, okay, anyway, I'm messing up my rules. Okay, so be careful of those. And then in the same type of thing as I talked about before, there's a lot of things. COLA comes out, and hey, if you need help with Medicare, Medicare Advantage, Medicare supplements, Part D plans, make sure you reach out to my partners at Chapter of Medicare. I looked for a place that would help y'all out and Chapter Medicare knocked it out of the park. They've got excellent customer service. They look at every single plan in your area, and their help is always 100% free. Give them a call, and they'll see if they can help you out, and tell them Dr. Ed said hi. Can you get more money? Click this website. A lot of these social media thing and these so-called news articles that you see online, it's like, millions of people are getting, $5,000 extra a month. Click here to see if you're eligible. Stay away. Stay away. Okay. And quite often they use something that's correct, but then they use it for ulterior purposes, like the Social Security Fairness Act that was passed during the Biden administration that is currently giving out benefits right now to people that worked in, federal, state, city, local governments that are getting, some $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. Those are accurate programs that about 95% of those benefits are already paid. So that's correct, but it's not for the other 97%. I disagree with that whole Social Security Fairness Act, but that's a whole different issue we won't discuss here today. Another one is obviously ID theft. I guess they say the horse has left the barn there, considering, every time we, open the newspaper, as they used to say in the old days, there's some other hospital or credit card company or financial institution that lost our Social Security numbers, or put them out on the dark web, or whatever the case may be. It hasn't been Social Security up until now. It's always been some other private company, credit card company or whatever, that has lost that information. It's never been Social Security that's lost massive amounts of information until now. Until we find out that a Doge person uploaded it, and we don't know. It'll probably take a few months to figure out whether that was actually leaked to the dark web, but it was in an unsecured. It looks like it was a place that it shouldn't been. I know, running the third business Social Security office in the country, if any of my 100 employees did that, they would have been fired. End of story. Super simple. If they put in a flash drive into the Social Security system, or they uploaded a bunch of stuff, bye. Sorry. As we used to say in the Marine Corps, big chicken dinner, bad conduct discharge. So be very, very careful. If you've got one of those old Medicare cards with your Social Security number, you need to get that fixed. You need to get that changed. The new Medicare numbers have a specific Medicare number on them. They don't have your Social Security number anyway. Social Security got smart, or Medicare got smart a few years ago, because we used to tell people, hey, don't carry your Social Security number, your card, around in your wallet or purse, because you've also got your ID with your address and your date of birth and stuff. And so don't carry your Social Security card around. But then they gave people Medicare cards with a Social Security number on it. So that was always kind of stupid. They have since fixed that. So your Medicare card should have that new card number, but if it has your Social Security number, make sure you contact Medicare and get an updated one. Okay, and there's also a scam out there. This is number 6, even though I said I'm only going to do 5. But number 6 is there's companies out there trying to scam people by saying, oh, we're going to a new Medicare card. And they went to a new Medicare card several years ago, but the scam is, oh, we're going to a metal card, a brand new Medicare card, so we need your information so we can send you this new updated card with a chip and yada, 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 all this kind of cool stuff on it. Yeah, no, Medicare and Social Security are still using those old flimsy paper things, so don't fall for that one. And one of the other things is, if you have a Medicare supplement plan, like a plan F or a plan N or a plan G. And then you also have a Part D plan, because you have to have a standalone Part D plan if you have a Medicare supplement plan. What I'm seeing is, because these companies, these Medicare insurance companies, they make more money when you enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan. So they would really like to switch you to a Medicare Advantage plan. And a lot of the companies that have Medicare supplement plans also have Medicare Advantage, and they would like to switch you to that one. So, but they can't contact you like that. But if you have a Part D, that means you are their customer, and therefore they are allowed to contact you. So they contact you and say, hey, we just want to let you know there's a new plan in your area, and we've got dental, vision, and hearing, and free ice cream and unicorns, and it's so awesome. Do you want to switch? And then, oh yeah, that sounds great. So you're the same company I've got this with, and I can consolidate this, that, and the other. And that's fine if that's what you want. If you want to switch to a Medicare Advantage because your Medicare supplement is getting too expensive or whatever the case may be, if you're making that as a logical, conscious decision based on information, then more power to you. But if not, then definitely watch out. So, and we are coming up on the season where everybody and their mother, as we used to say, is going to be calling you this Medicare. October 15th is when it begins. So it's going to start being very, very crazy starting October. And these companies are not supposed to be contacting you unless you have contacted them first. So if some Medicare insurance agent or whoever throughout the country contacts you, then they're not supposed to, unless you told that person or that person's company to contact you. If they're calling you out of the blue, which they're still doing what they're not supposed to do, cold calling you, they could lose their license and never be able to, market Medicare again, which is, some of these people are going crazy out there. Jeff says you're not very helpful. Is that me? Is it Jeff? Is that my wife pretending to be Jeff there?